Oh, I think Kings County was significantly better. Yeah, significantly better.
Well, I mean, you guys also chose Old Forester 1897 over Dickel bottled and bond. So you know what?
Yeah, we did, and proud.
Your pallets are out there in the middle of nowhere.
All right, tonight we're going to review a product that honestly a lot of people have probably heard about. I don't know if they've had the opportunity to actually see it and buy it. Chances are, if people do see this and they know about it, they're probably very interested in buying it. So we decided to review Angel's Envy finished rye tonight. As it is finished in a rum cask. Yeah, Angel Envy is kind of one of those product lines that's out there that a lot of people hear about, has a lot of interest. Some people love it, some people hate it. So we decided to look at their finished rye tonight to just kind of see what we think, so we can hopefully steer you in the right direction.
Yep.
So
and
let's get to it.
So this is one that Chuck and I have debated buying multiple times. So you can find it anywhere like 70 to 80 bucks if you find it at Costco, all the way up to regularly like $90 to $100 at most like liquor stores, liquor barn, places like that. That's what the price is there.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably lucky if you find it right at that $70, $75 range. Most places will have it at a higher price tag than that. And also, it's kind of one of those ones that's also hard to find. So if it is something you're really wanting, you kind of have to just pay for whatever the price is in your area and not be too picky on that.
Yeah, and it's with pretty much all Angel's Envy products, it is MGP as far as the mash bill. They started with MGP product and everything like that. They're slowly switching over to their own stuff. But as all Angel Envy products are, it is finished in something. So their regular bourbon line is finished in port casks. This one is Caribbean rum casks. So it is, from what we saw, it is a rum XO, which means it was a cognac cask and then switched over to rum, and then these guys got it because they are also owned by the same people as Bacardi. So they probably have a way to get care of rum because of them.
Yeah. And the age statement on this is 6 to 7 years. It's 95% rye, 5% malted barley. In case you're looking for all those details as well.
100 proof.
And I'm guessing Chuck is just so quiet because the nose is so amazing. He just can't get enough of it.
Yes, 100%.
So this is like we've poured this twice now, and like initially you just get like I get this water chestnut / spicy radish note initially. I will admit, after it opens a bit, so after literally a few minutes, like you gotta like swirl it or let it sit for a few minutes, then it moves into more of a traditional rye, a little bit of a traditional rye nose.
Yeah, I'm guessing what we get like when we first pour it and we smell it, we get a lot of those rum smells that are mixed with the rye notes. So that's where you're getting like some of the sweetness, spiciness from the rum, but then the grassy notes from the rye. So that's where we're getting this like Thai food, Chinese food, spicy vegetable mixture thing going on.
Well, it's rye fusion is what it is. It's rye Asian fusion, and that's really what we feel like is coming together here. It just has, I mean, I'll be honest, one of the probably the more interesting, I'm not going to say better or worse, but just interesting nose profiles that we've experienced. You just got these different flavors, I feel like, coming from different places. Initially, when
different.
you pour, very different. But then I feel like it does settle a little bit over time.
Yeah,
but I might be alone in that.
No, I'd agree on that. It does change over time, but yeah, definitely different. And then in the palate, it kind of goes into this like almost like a Christmas spice, gingerbread. Spice
Almost, yeah.
initially.
Almost juniper berries. Makes you wonder if it's got some gin notes in there or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the front part of the palate, I get all the rum notes. So you get like molasses, a ton of sweetness,
Yeah,
and everything like that. And then it slowly transitions to the finish, which brings the rye back. So just like the nose, you get the rum on the front, the rye on the back, palate, rum, finish, rye.
The finish for me doesn't linger long. Like it's kind of there and
Gone.
and I don't recall getting this before when we tried it, but that juniper note I feel like is really coming through nose to palate more so than I realized before. Like it's really kind of, I feel like I get this mix between that juniper and like this sugar balance, which I feel like is maybe just a lot of that rum coming through on this more so than like the rye would be coming through. Like sometimes when you have a finished product, it, at least in my experience, it feels like I have a lot of the rye or the whiskey or the bourbon, and then it's like I got a hint of what it's finished in. I feel like this is just the complete opposite of that.
Yeah. The rum definitely takes the forefront and the rye is in the back.
So going into it, if you were to potentially purchase this, like that's probably something I'd want to be aware of.
I mean, not gonna hide it. It's like when you find out Santa Claus isn't real. It's just disappointment.
What? All right, so are we ready to rate this then?
wait a second. I just want to go back. Santa Claus isn't real.
Yep.
Santa
I
Claus,
based my whole life on that. Oh wait,
Santa Claus is real
can't
because he's
curse
in
your
all of
life.
our hearts.
Santa Claus isn't real, just like a good Dickel bottled and bond isn't real.
Real, and I have it, and I will never share it with you again. That's fact.
Oh,
Just like this
I know
Dickel
we
15-year single barrel that I have over there that I'm not,
Not
gonna share with
bottled
you
and
either.
bond,
You
sir.
guys, yeah, it's like basically 100 proof.
did he just rip on your Dickel bottle
Because
of Bonds
this
lost
video
just like
info?
kicking me down, kicking me when I'm down.
Yeah, that Dickel bottle of Bond losing the old stuff, man. I almost forgot about that in the last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't forgot about it, nor will I ever. I still have your old Carter, Brian.
And it's half gone. Who would have thought?
I
think I
have
need to get
two
that
of
old
your.
Carter
Well,
fast.
I'm not.
All right, so back to our Angel Envy review here.
Yes.
Where are we at on the rating of this?
So nose for me, it's different. Not my cup of tea, but there's not anything super off-putting on it. So I would give it a 3. Middle of the road. Like I'm not disappointed by it, but it's not, it's not setting the world on fire for me.
Yeah, not my cup of tea, nor my cup of bourbon. And I mean, initially it's really interesting, just the kind of the Asian zing with the water chestnut kind of notes that I was getting off of it. But yeah, I agree with you, TJ. I'm at a 3.
Yeah, I give this as a 3 as well. And as it kind of opens up with time, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of that sugar and ginger that kind of eventually overpowers kind of that Asian fusion mix that we felt like was going on. I feel good about a 3.
The palate, I'm going 2.5. I mean, it's like I would rather just drink a rum or a rye. This weird rum rye combination thing is not good for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that like Christmas spice that I'm getting on it. That's my preference, I guess. So I'm at a 2.5 as well.
I'm kind of proud of the odd duck out here. I'm kind of enjoying it.
Usually are.
I'm more the 3. And that Christmas spice, like that little oomph that it provides, I like that. It's just once again, this is definitely not a everyday drinker, but if you're just kind of in the mood for something different, um, I do feel like I'm at about a 3, just kind of appreciating what it is. So
Okay. And finish for me, I'm actually going to knock it down even lower. I'm going to a 2. It's super short. There's not a lot there. I feel like the rum kind of hides those normal rye notes I would get in the finish. So yeah, there's just not much there. It's a 2.
I'm not quite as harsh as you, TJ. I'm at a 2.5. For me, there's a little pepper in the finish, and it lingers a little longer than a split second. But 2.5.
yeah, I feel like I'm in a 2.5 as well. It's good ish, which is probably why I feel like it's a 2.5. You get some of those same like almost like Christmas notes. You get a little bit of sugar, you get a little bit of ginger, but I actually feel like the finish, like the mix of that with the pepper that comes through in the finish, almost makes it like a burnt sweet, peppery sweet. That for me just is like, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to enjoy it honestly, which is why I go 2.5. But it's just unique. I kind of enjoy it. It's kind of one of those things like I feel like I kind of like it, but I'm not sure
You
I
don't
like
know if
it.
you like it, but you want to like it. This is like a Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn movie and Wedding Crashers. It's this awkward moment where it's like you want to, and then it's like, do I go in for the hug or do I don't? And then,
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about like not even just the finish, but this entire bottle. It's like I like it. Do I like it? I'm not sure I like it. Very
good
mixed.
talk, Janice.
But at the end of the day, every time I pour, I end up having an empty glass. So
I mean, I would too. I just don't want to pour it on my floor because I'd have to clean that up later.
Oh, geez, we're jumping to the gun. So, TJ, what would you do? Where are we at with? Would you hunt, buy, bar, pass?
I wouldn't touch this thing with a 6-foot pole. Like, absolutely not.
Wow.
I've
I
had.
just want this to be. This is the
Yeah.
first bourbon that we have, or
Hey,
whiskey. Excuse
rye.
me. That we have reviewed. That TJ is.
I am adamantly against. But to be fair, I'm not a big fan of almost anything Angel's Envy has done so far.
You
Like
just bought a Angel's
I
Envy
did.
cask strength.
Their regular bourbon is lacking in everything, flavor, palate, everything. Like it just doesn't do it for me.
It's pretty weak
at all.
hot take.
The single barrel I got is amazing, except it's $100, which is way overpriced. If it was the $40 range, like their standard stuff is, oh, it'd be a home run all day long. Their limited edition cask strength for $250 or whatever, I'm not going after that. Like, no thanks. And now they're rye finished in rum barrels. No thanks. They.
So you're at a pass.
Yeah, they're too bougie for me.
Too bougie.
Wow. Way to bring out your big words tonight.
I did.
Big
I
words
studied
for a big review.
for a big boy.
Right. I feel like I need to be like, well, it's not that bad. Maybe somebody will like it, depending on your palate. Well, not my palate. So I'm gonna pass as well. Not you guys. Well, if you watch the channel enough, it takes a good rye anyway for me to like it. But in this price range, although you can't get it anymore, sadly. But like Yippee Ki I'd take that any day over this. Similar price range. Now the Midwinter Night Dram obviously is a bit more limited and a bit pricier if you can find it typically, but I'd take that as well. Like I'd wait to find my Midwinter Night Dram over this. So for that reason, I'm going to do my best Mark Cuban and Shark Tank. For that reason, I'm out.
I like that. So yeah, for me, if I'd be willing to try it at a bar, had I actually looked at a review and I knew ahead of time kind of, oh, something different. I'm in the mood for something different. I think it's a bar tasting, and if it's your thing from there, okay, go hunt it or whatever you need to do. But for me, it's a pass / bar taste is pretty much where I'm at on this. Charlie's laughing because he's like, dude, just say pass. But I don't know, I just can't.
You just tasted it, so it's like if
yeah.
you've tasted. I'm asking you now that you've had it, because I understand your like previous. If you've never tasted it, I wouldn't have faulted you had you. Okay, I wouldn't have faulted you had you tasted it at a bar. I might have tasted it at a bar, honestly, had I had the opportunity. I've had some other Angel's Envy's products, but not the rye.
How is this? I will not buy a second bottle. Maybe that tells you everything you need to know right there. But and the interesting thing here with the Angel Envy finished rye, I feel like Angel Envy is just one of those products where a lot of their stuff is just like a tater hunt, where people want their stuff, they like their stuff, they hunt their stuff, and this is one of those where I just go, yeah, in that price range, you have so many other great options. This is not something I would buy again in that price range.
I think they emphasize marketing and
Yes.
over the value of the product
and quality of the product.
Yeah. So they are not going to subscribe to the channel anytime soon. I feel like after this review,
not getting media samples from them.
Nope.
Yeah, no media samples from Angel Envy.
Unless they want us to actually give them a good review. Send us a good media sample and we will give you a good review once you do a good product.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about like starting a cooking channel, so maybe send me some of this finished rye and I'll put it on some Asian noodles. Maybe some pad thai, some water chestnuts. It'll pair it nicely.
Probably go in a cookie mix, maybe.
Like gingerbread cookies?
Yeah,
gingerbread cookies.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, I can do that, man.
Yeah, it kind of has that sweet ginger mix.
Yep.
There you go. All right. So, power of bourbon.
They need.
Wow, that is completely messed up. But once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Please hit the subscribe button, click the bell so when you see the new stuff come up, you see that. And who knows, maybe Brian will send us another good quality rye. I can hardly wait. It's always a surprise with him. So we'll see you next time.
Power of bourbon.